Who stole my money? I don't know if it has happened to you before. Sometimes that was before I was married, when I was still single. I went out and I ran into someone, a very big person, and I ran into him. And he was so excited at seeing me after a long while. And we talked. And he asked me a couple of questions, and I shared with him my progress journey. I said, I've done this, and he was like, are you serious? Prof, how? I said, well, somehow we just found ourselves where we were. And he said, okay, follow me. I left the event and I went with him. He opened the trunk of his car and brought out, as at the time, I got married in 2014. And so this is just about maybe 2 years before I got married. So say about 2012, 2013, thereabout. And so he brought out 250, he brought out 500,000, which was like 50-50, 5,000, 50,000 bundles. So it's always wrapped like 250. So he brought it out of the brown envelope that was in the trunk of his car and gave me half of it, which was 250. I brought it back, and within 2 days, the 250,000 naira disappeared. And I sat back and I said to myself, something major now came up that I needed money to execute. And that was where I remembered that, look, I had 250,000 that was given to me. And so I went back to my drawer to check. At least I have money. I was excited when the issue came up, and I said, well, I'm going to handle this one. So I went back to check. Lo and behold, how much did I see? 35,000 naira. And so I started wondering, what happened? Who entered my room? Could it be the guy that cleans the room? Because as at this time, I was staying in my room alone. And when I leave for work, I lock my door. And the only person I give my key to is the guy who helps to do the cleaning. And so I started wondering, could this guy have stolen my money? What happened? And so the question hit me, who stole my money? Who? It couldn't be me that will steal my own money and not know that I stole the money. And so I almost concluded that it was the guy that was helping me clean the room. But you know one thing? The guy has worked with us for a long time. And my dad has tested him in several ways. And each time, he will always find the money, he will return it. Sometimes money will be scattered in my dad's room. He will go see it. He will pick it, arrange it, and keep it. Not knowing that it was a test. So each time we come back from work, my dad will ask me, Prof, count that money. And I'll count it. He says, how much? I'll tell him. Says, complete. This guy's a good guy. So he has tested him a number of ways. So we came to the point where we knew that this guy, for stealing, is not part of him. So that was what took off that thought that it could steal my money. But guess what? I was the one that stole the money. Years after, I discovered that I was the one that stole the money. A lot of us seated here this evening, I'm sure you've come to this point and you've had this similar experience where so much money is in your hands and the next minute it vanishes. And you're beginning to wonder, where did it go? Who pilfered it? And maybe you're staying in a house that there are several people, and your mind will start running and suspecting the most naughtiest person in the house. And even when the person is innocent, in your mind you have labeled the person a thief. Right? I'm sure we have had such experiences. You are just like me. You stole your money. Money is something that a lot of us want to have and want to get. Money is also something that a lot of us have had, but yet we have lost. My problem is not in you having money. The problem is in your ability to manage it. And the most fundamental problem is in you having the skill to sustain it. If having money was the ultimate answer, then men who have become politicians and have had so much money, or men who have had businesses by dint of grace and the favor of God, have had that money, they would have remained rich all through their lives. So my problem with young people, when I see young people, like the question Ndefreke said, it was asked by a young person, is the only talk. I'm spending 1 full year doing wise talk to build you up and prepare you so that when money hits your hand, you know what to do with it. I tell people a number of times, I've tried it several times, and if you want me to try it now, I can try it. I give you 5 million naira now, you're not prepared. Within the next 2 weeks, you roam the streets, whether in New York or in Eket, because the problem is not money. Money is everywhere. The problem is your ability to manage money. And I said the most difficult is how to sustain it. So that's it. That's what I want to say by opening. Poverty is not always the lack of money. It is often the result of poor financial habits. When a man is poor, it's not the result of lack of money. It is the result of your poor financial habits. And that's why you hear people talk about financial intelligence. How intelligent are you when it comes to money? How well can you manage money? I was in a place and they sang a song. And one of the lyrics of the song, I didn't want to stand up, or I didn't feel like dancing, because I was creating what I will say to you and trying to do my final thoughts. You know, when you're about to land or when you're about to take off a flight, the pilot will say, please, cabin crew, get ready in preparation for takeoff. And then when they want to land, they say, get ready in preparation for landing. So I was doing preparations for takeoff. So I didn't, but I heard a lyric, one of the lines of the song says, you make the little things I do as big things. I like it. You make the little thing I do as if not big thing, no. Na 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 na. I don't know who sang it. I can't. Moses Bliss sang it. Mercy Chinwu. Okay, you know, that's good. Okay, so now, I can use little money and do my thing, and it looks like big things. And you can have all the much money, and yet you can't make anything out of it. So, when we talk about who stole my money, it is to draw your attention to the money leakages that we have and that could be tampering with our ability to grow financially. Okay? That's just the summary of this talk. A lot of people, including myself, before now, I got used to chasing money. I wish I could have money. But the problem wasn't about me having money. The problem was with what I would do with the money. The problem was with how I will manage the money. The problem was with how I will invest the money. The problem was with how I will multiply the money. I give you 5 million naira, you can't invest it, you can't multiply it, it becomes 0 naira over a period of time. And I give another person 100,000 naira, the person can invest it, the person can multiply it, the person becomes the richest man in Akwa Ibom, or the richest man in Africa, if you will. Most of the big people you know today as the rich people, biggest people, all of that, do you know how much they started their businesses with? How many of us have read the story of Dangote? How many of us? Okay, only one person. Oh, so we have a lot of things to do. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think 500 naira. 500 naira, right? That his uncle gave him and he paid back. I gave you 500 naira, or let's multiply it because of time differences. I gave you 500,000. I gave you 5 million naira. Would you have become the richest man in Africa? So, now, let's begin to attempt to answer the question, who stole my money? The first thing I told you was that you are the one stealing your money. Right? And so, what are the things that steal your money? First, ego. Your ego is stealing your money. Ego or pride. Some people call it ego. Ego. Anyone, whether you're American or Britain. A lot of people are too proud to live within their means. Someone saw me today and said, wow, you look good and all of that. I like your glasses. The first question he said was, how much did you buy it? He wasn't asking to know how much money I have. He was asking so that he will buy it. And when you size him up, this guy doesn't have a job. So if he has to buy my kind of glasses to meet up and act like a big man, that's what they call acting big man. You are not a big man, but you are acting big man. Then he's going to have a lot of problems. So your ego and pride is one of the things that steals your money. Because you want to match up. Because you want to be feel among, like they say. Because you want to be in that class. You are willing to borrow and buy a shirt, buy a shoe, buy a belt, buy a beautiful, nice cologne. That if you walk into the door, everywhere is saturated by that cologne. And then they're like, everybody is stunning. Who is that? Who just walked in and everything? That's what you want. You're trying to feed your ego, but it will be at the expense of your money that you don't even have. So, my friends, if you have ego, it's time to cut it down. Pin it. Like, clip the wings of your ego. It's stealing your money. That money that you would have probably saved, put together, and start an investment that over the space of 2-3 years will yield larger income to you, and then you do something bigger and you can easily afford whatever it is that you need. No, you want to continuously feed your ego now, and then you die wretched. Somebody said, God forbid. It's not about saying God forbid. Clip the wings of your ego, your pride. Rich people don't live to impress anybody. Rich people live to be happy. Whatever makes them happy is what they do. It's not about what you think. If it's about what you think, someone like Mark Zuckerberg would not just have a pair of jeans, which is almost the same, and just t-shirts. Someone like, what's his name? Elon Musk will not just wear shirts and roam the streets of America. Simple. They're not impressing you. What rich people push to impress you are the products they sell to get money from your hands. So let me ask you a question. What are you selling? Selling your fine shirt, good wristwatch, trying good cologne, trying to someone listened to one of the talks we had on Facebook, and he sent me an inbox and said, "Prof, I didn't know you were this stupid. You said if they keep a Prado Jeep and Toyota Corolla, you pick a Toyota Corolla and leave a Prado Jeep." I replied back, "I can look for trouble, though. Especially when you look for my trouble." I said, "I didn't know you are more stupid than I am. Because you didn't listen totally to what I said. I said, if they keep a Prado Jeep and a Toyota Corolla and say to me that I should choose one, the first question I'm going to ask is, who is responsible for fueling? Because the Prado Jeep is 8 plugs, V8, and one acceleration you hit on it, it's like 25 liters is almost gone. Compared to Toyota Corolla that can, if I fill the tank, it can take me for 2 weeks. If I have to go to to and fro, Toyota Corolla will take me to to and fro almost 3-4 times before the tank is empty. But Prado Jeep, one time, halfway is gone. And I know my income. I know how much comes to me. And you are giving me on a platter of gold, and you are not expecting me to sell it. You want to see me keep driving it. But I'm responsible for fueling it. Come on, I'll take the Toyota anytime, any day. I'll take the Toyota Corolla because of my income level. But because right now, if you keep it for me right now, I will take the Prado Jeep because I can afford the fuel in it. I can afford fuel in it. It's not a problem. It's not a big deal. But even at that, when I have projects to do, right, I will shut down the fueling of the Prado Jeep and move my funds to the project. Because I know that if I can get the projects done with, I can even buy 10 of the Prado Jeeps and fuel them. So, number one thing that steals your money is your ego. Clip the wings of your ego. Number two, a lot of people confuse their needs with wants. What you require is not so. The second thing that steals your money is your state of confusion of needs and wants. What you require to spend money on is your needs and not your wants. A time will come in your life that you have enough money and to spare to attempt to take care of your wants. But starting out in life, you must concentrate on your needs. And my definition of needs is simple. Whatever I need to help me get to the next level is what I spend my money on. When I was in school and up till now, one area I spend my money on with reckless abandon is when it comes to knowledge. I do have an apology for it. Don't allow me go walk into a bookshop. Don't allow me walk into where knowledge is dispensed. I will not leave that place until literally my account is empty. And that to me is not a want. That to me is a need. I need knowledge to go by on daily basis. We are in a time where what is trending is knowledge. The products people are selling, what I'm doing now for free, is me selling my knowledge products. But I also charge you. For some people, I could charge 200,000, 500,000, 1 million naira, 2 million naira. I was trying to get into the Leaders Roundtable talk of Sam Adeyemi. And when I clicked and filled the forms and they sent me the place to pay, I saw 1.5 million. At 1.5 million, they had only 2 seats remaining. And so while I was trying to wrap around my head, should I spend 1.5 million or I should look for another one? By the time I made up my mind, I said, let me just go ahead and register. Seats are not available anymore. Some people are selling knowledge. So for me, that's what I do. That's what I invest in. A time will come I will not have the energy to do the kind of job I'm doing now, every day, day to day. What I will sell is knowledge. And so knowledge selling is my retirement plan. So when the next generations are coming up to set up their business and do something or whatever, they have a challenge, all they need to do is just consult me. And just to consult me, at that time, I don't know how powerful our currency will be. I could charge 10 million naira just to consult me. And then when I finish solving the problem for them, they pay me 100 million naira into my account. To you and to them, it may look like, what has this guy done? No, it has been almost 30 years of work that I've just given to you in 1 minute. So, for someone like me, knowledge is, my drive for knowledge is not a want, is a need. So remember my definition for a need. A need is anything that will help you move to the next level. It will help you acquire the next thing. It will help you listen, you must define it. Maslow's law and hierarchy of needs says clearly you need a roof over your head. Please get a roof over your head. But please, if you're just starting out life, why don't you get a nice, self-contained, beautiful place, everything's arranged and cool, than trying to get a duplex or 3-bedroom flat. You're single, you're getting 3-bedroom flat. Who's going to stay in the other 2 rooms? Maybe you're planning to bring your mother and your grandmother from the village to stay with you. But in case you don't have that plan, why are you getting a 3-bedroom flat for? You're just wasting money.